and welcome to Making Connections, an expert series presented by Brennan Industries. I'm your host, Kenesha Johnson. Today, we are joined by two guests. First, Jose Goaz, Division Vice President of Hydraulic Supply Company. Thanks for coming on the show today, Jose.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're also joined by Joe Carr, Regional Sales Manager for Brennan Industries. Glad to have you, Joe.
Thanks for having me here.
First of all, let's get to know today's guest a little bit. Jose, tell us a little about Hydraulic Supply, who your organization is, and what they do. I think I can guess a little bit just based on the name.
Yeah, so HSC is a division that's housed within the Fluid Power Solutions group of Motion Industries. And we are a fluid power solutions provider primarily focused on mobile hydraulics. And within that segment, we service all customer channels. So the end users we service through our branch network, and the OEMs we would service through our centers of excellence. And then the resellers we would service through our distribution and logistics channels.
Great. And Joe, briefly, how would you sum up Brennan Industries?
So Brennan Industries is a manufacturer and distributor of hydraulic fittings and adapters. We're about 70-year-old company, family owned, based out of Cleveland, Ohio. And we offer over 40,000 different types of hydraulic fittings and adapters to our customers like Hydraulic Supply Company.
And Jose, what is one thing you wish people knew about your industry or job?
I think just that hydraulics are everywhere. How prevalent they are in everything we do day to day, from the trash being picked up on your street to the buildings going up around you, and how important they are to keeping the world in motion, no pun intended.
What about you, Joe?
I would agree with Jose. I mean, it's amazing. Our products are used in everyday life. Everything from the construction machinery that you see building the roads every day to the rockets that go up in the air. They're all using some type of hydraulic products in their application. So it's really prevalent all over the world.
What does your company offer that is unique from your competitors? We'll start with you again, Jose.
I would say service, solutions, and speed, and really that's what the industry craves, and that's what's going to set you apart in this industry is being able to provide that value add to your customers. So that's really what HSC strives for.
And Joe, how does Brennan do business differently?
I would say in many ways it's very similar. You know, we focus on servicing the customer better than everybody else. We offer a very high quality product to our customers, and we make it just very easy to do business with our company. So I think all that put together makes us a very unique business in the industry.
Excellent. Next, what do you two gentlemen see currently going on in the hydraulic components marketplace, and especially in hydraulic supply? Jose?
Yeah, so I would say the drive towards more valuable partnerships with your suppliers, in the sense that they are the experts as opposed to just buying a part number in the traditional distribution sense of it. So you're seeing more and more customers really craving that, the need for an expert partner and somebody who's going to give them a solution as opposed to just selling a cataloged part number.
And what trends are you seeing, Joe? Would you agree?
Completely agree with Jose there. Service is everything. Consulting is really our business. Customers are looking for solutions rather than products at the end of the day. They want somebody who's going to be able to come to a problem with a solution and be able to walk them through that. And I think that's what we're able to do. Both of our companies are able to do at the end of the day.
Awesome. Jose, how have the supply chain issues impacted your business? And what can companies do to best position themselves for changes occurring in the marketplace?
Yeah, I mean, just like everybody else in our industry and outside of our industry, it's been a real challenge navigating the supply chain challenges that everybody's seeing. But fortunately, HSC, we've really embraced it more as an opportunity than anything. And what we've done is we've really leveraged some of the relationships that we have with our suppliers to give us that leg up on our competition. And we're seeing how valuable those relationships and partnerships that we've built have become in times like now. And it's really allowed for us to create some separation in the marketplace.
What about you, Joe? What kinds of changes are you seeing at Brennan?
Well, the supply chain issues have definitely impacted us. I would say it's helped us a lot, unlike a lot of our competitors. I think we've definitely rose to the occasion and recognized early what the challenges would be getting product in from overseas. And we saw that ahead of time and were able to adjust prior to a lot of these things happening with COVID. We've changed the ports that we were shipping to. LA and Long Beach used to be about 90% of our where 90% of our shipments would come through. Now we're sending that through Seattle. We're sending that through Houston. We used to use the rail network in the United States. With COVID and everything going on with supply chain, going from LA or the West Coast to Cleveland, which is our headquarters, would take about 100 days through the congested railway network. What we've done to adjust is we now have a 3-day truck that would pick up our product from the ports on the West Coast and take it directly to our facilities in Cleveland, which has really helped us reduce the amount of lead time that we have on our products, and has really been able to up the level of service that we have to our customers.
Yeah, that's interesting. And next, how is inflation impacting hydraulic supply, the industry and the business, and how will it be impacted long term if costs continue to rise?
Again, just dealing with the same challenges that everybody in every industry is dealing with right now. And I think it really comes down to recalibrating your business for this increase in costs and looking at your efficiencies and looking at your cost structures, your operational cost structures, and just evaluating those and recalibrating based on what the market's giving you right now.
Anything to add to that, Joe?
I think Jose said that well. The only thing I would add is that we might also start to see a decrease in the manufacturing of new equipment. If costs continue to increase, people might decide to repair instead. In our businesses, both of our businesses, we're very well diversified for the OEM and the maintenance repair operations markets. So I'd say we've got that covered.
Just a few questions left. What are you two seeing from a workforce perspective? And what recommendations are you making for your company and clients? We'll start with you on this one, Joe.
I would say the biggest challenge is really just finding people for labor-intensive jobs. We're seeing that all across the country. I think a lot of other sectors are looking at potentially more investments in automation to help combat that. We'll have to see what that ends up looking like here in the next few years.
And Jose, what developments are you seeing or recommending in this area?
Yeah, similar to what Joe said, we are seeing the same challenges that everybody in every industry is seeing right now when it comes to workforce hiring. Now, I would say I probably would give you a different answer about a month ago. At this point, we're starting to see some of that roll back, and we are really shifting our focus into more of a patient mode when it comes to hiring, as opposed to a month ago, we would have been much more aggressive and even reckless in some sense in how we were recruiting people and trying to hire. Now that you're seeing some of these larger companies realize that maybe the economy is leveling off and realize that the industry is starting to not trend backwards, but just not increase at the pace that it was. We're seeing some of that aggressiveness from our competitors and come off the table and giving some opportunities to be a little bit more patient in the hiring and recruiting process.
How do your companies plan to recruit and retain good talent with the changing hiring landscape? We'll start with hydraulic supply here.
Yeah, so I think as an industry in general, we all know that there's an age problem in the industry, whereas the workforce is starting to get aged out, and we haven't done a good enough job of bringing young talent in to train them up and fill some of those roles as others get to the end of their career. And what we've seen, though, is that companies haven't really had the stomach to weather that learning curve of bringing new talent in, and more so than that, to take on the challenge of actually adapting to a different way of running your business, because young talent typically, they have a different approach to business. They're looking for different things in the companies they want to work for. So you really got to adjust and adapt to those changes in the recruiting landscape to hire and to retain talent.
And Joe, what is Brennan doing on this front?
We're doing many things, but I would say one of the things that we're trying to focus on is creating a great workplace environment, an environment that our employees want to come into work every day. We try to plan fun activities every month. Recently, we did a Western theme. We put it all over social media as well, and had wanted posters up there. We just want to kind of make it a great environment for people to collaborate, work with each other, and really work together to, reach a common goal. And I think that, along with some of the other things that we're doing to attract new talent, is really important.
Jose, where do you think much of this industry and this market is headed?
Yeah, so going back to what I said about the customer base really wanting and needing partners that can provide solutions and really be the expert for them, I think that's going to be more important as we move forward. And we're seeing a lot of the technical resources within some of the customer base being stripped out or not replaced, and that they really are leaning on their suppliers and their partners to fill that void. So it's going to become more and more critical to be able to fill that void and have those resources in place to capture that market.
That's great information. What about you, Joe? Do you agree?
I do agree, and on top of that, I do believe that the markets are always changing, and the technology that's used in our industries are always changing. I know there's a large discussion around green energy, and that's being tested in some OEM applications. Hydraulics are still used in those applications, and I think they will always be around. But we've got to face it. What we're selling today is not going to be what we're selling 5, 20, 25 years down the roads. And I think it's important for businesses like ours to understand what the trends are and to adapt to what the needs are of our customers as time goes on.
And lastly, based on what you're seeing out there, Joe, what is Brennan doing in response to some of these trends?
We're always looking at taking a look at the marketplace here. I think we've got a great team of individuals at the executive management level that are keeping their ears to the ground on what's in need, and I think we've got a good plan in place to address the market needs coming forward.
And lastly, Jose, what about you? What is Hydraulic Supply doing to stay ahead?
Yeah, so just continuing to invest in those value add resources, the centers of excellence, the value add solutions that the customers are going to need further down the road, and kind of even turning back to the recruiting standpoint, continue to build a workplace, an environment, and a culture that attracts young talent. And it may take time for that talent to acclimate to the industry, but it's going to put you a step ahead of everybody else down the road, and that's what we're looking to do.
Incredible. Well, gentlemen, thank you both so much for sharing your insights on the hydraulic industry. Jose, we appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Oh, thank you very much.
And Joe, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you both. Thank you all for watching Making Connections, presented by Brennan Industries. We hope you'll join us again for our next expert interview. See you soon.